Guys, welcome back to the channel. Donald Trump just said some interesting things this morning. The U.S. Shutdown has reached the historic 40-day mark, and wanted to kind of dive into what this means for crypto right now. The market overall looking pretty good. Bitcoin coming up here today. Sunday's always an interesting day to watch because it kind of it kind of is a prelude to what we usually see happen on Monday. If it's green on Sunday, usually means once markets open, we're going to have at least a good start to the week. And so we will take a look at some charts here in a few. But yeah, things are looking on the up and up for Bitcoin and for some select altcoins in particular. Zcash had a really nice bounce. A couple other privacy coins bouncing nicely. I mentioned to my private community members yesterday, loved the pullback on Zcash. And if you'd have just basically got in there anytime yesterday on the dip, you were up on that trade this morning when you woke up. So I wanted to get into a couple different things. Obviously, the government shutdown, a big thing that's holding everything back right now. But Trump also just said that Americans are going to be getting $2,000. That's right, stimulus checks could be back. So this could be bullish for crypto. Last time in 2020, 2021, when we were going, when we were in the heat of the pandemic, stimulus checks came out. I think there were a couple rounds of it, if I remember right. And there was definitely some of that capital that flowed back into the markets, right? It certainly went back into the economy. A lot of people probably bought things they didn't need with it, but that's the American dream, right? But the smart people, invested it into crypto, and there were quite a few people who, got those checks, invested it, and turned their, $600 or $1,200 into, 5, 6, 7, 8,000. That was right at the, precipice of the bull market last cycle. So that'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Trump said people that are against tariffs are fools. We are now the richest, most respected country in the world with almost no inflation and a record stock market price. I mean, we definitely still have inflation, but you try to go buy a dozen of eggs or a gallon of milk. There's definitely still inflation. But anyway, he said 401ks are highest ever. We're talking in the trillions of dollars, and we'll soon be paying down our enormous debt, 37 trillion. I don't know if we can pay it all down, but he says record investment in the United States, plants and factories going up all over the place. Now that's true. There are a ton of more, plants and factories popping up. A dividend of at least 2,000 a person, not including high income people, will be paid to everyone. So it sounds like it's going to be similar. If you make X amount, you won't get it, but it'll go to the people I think that need it the most. And if you can use some of that money to invest into the markets, and crypto being one of those markets, this could certainly be a nice little catalyst for us to bring some more people back into crypto, right? But I think the government shutdown's a huge deal. That's going to be a really nice catalyst for the overall markets at large once we reopen. We really need that to happen. It's been 40 days since the government shutdown. It's, pretty much gridlocking a lot of things, both in our industry, from a regulatory standpoint with crypto. The Clarity Act is something we all want to see passed. Democrats, Republicans working together to create full clarity on crypto assets, how they're taxed, how they're classified. But all of that has come to a screeching halt over the last 40 days. That amongst, many other, things that they were working on as well. But so those are a couple things just out front that I wanted to kind of, talk about a little bit. And then if we go ahead and dive into the charts here today, at least take a look at some of the pricing across the board. Bitcoin, 103.6 right now. So closer to 104,000. Yesterday we were at 101, 102. So nice little 2% gain on Bitcoin here. And again, it looks good that it's coming here on a Sunday, because usually this is kind of forecasting at least what we're going to see at the start of the week when the regular traditional markets reopen on Monday. Keep in mind, as long as Bitcoin stays above the 50-week estimated moving average, which is the $101,000 level, as long as we get a weekly close, we can even dip below it for a few hours, even a day or two, right? We just got to come back up and regain that number, 101, right? If we regain that, I remain bullish on the market right now. Okay. Now, are we kind of on the precipice of things kind of slipping away? Yeah. And that's why I think people, are a little frightened right now. And for decent reason. Like it's not like I'm not going to run for the hills here and say it's all over, obviously. Like I'm long-term crypto, but in the short term, it is kind of a little dicey right now, going full port into things. But tell you what the smart money's doing. They're rotating into these high volume plays. Like look at Monero now up today. All of a sudden, Monero is starting to catch up. This is a good momentum play right now because Zcash and Dash have been moving. It might be Monero's time to shine here with the privacy narrative. Look at Decred back up 41% today. You want to get out ahead of these things. We were out ahead of Near Protocol. We bought it at 225. Look, it's up 8% today, up 39% on the week. If you were in the Patreon in our private community, you know about Near. We were all over this play. You guys can save 15% now annually on memberships to the Patreon. Become an Inner Circle member or a VIP member and get on free live calls, exclusive video content. You'll see my entire portfolio, my buy and sell alerts, everything right there laid out for you. And we can win in this market together. So check that out if you're interested in that. But yeah, we're seeing some nice pops in the prices here across the board. Litecoin is one we mentioned yesterday. It's up 7% today. Love to see that. Aster's another one we mentioned yesterday. It's up 7% today. Man, you love it when things go your way, when it actually works out, right? In crypto, when you guess right. But honestly, it's not that hard right now. Just follow the money, follow the early momentum, and ride these trains up and take profits along the way. Everybody's going to have a little different kind of way about it in terms of, how long you want to hold an asset, but there's money to be had in this market. It's just different than 2021, right? A lot of people are left kind of holding those bags from 4 or 5 years ago. Those are the people that are really frustrated right now because they're not adapting. They're not changing to this to this new environment. So that's what I wanted to talk about, guys. Appreciate you all so much. Hopefully you're having a good weekend, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.